Hello, everybody. Today I wanted to talk about making mistakes, not just personally making mistakes, but also getting upset about other people's mistakes. Um, this subject kind of came up um, at my work, and we ended up getting a we have like a little instant messenger. Basically, we just use Skype and we instant message. Just an easy way to kind of communicate between people at my work. And um, and one of my coworkers was basically venting about um, about everybody, trying to check their work because there was a lot of mistakes, and of course she was having to deal with a lot of mistakes that were happening um, at her position, and it really had me thinking about that, about not the mistakes in general, but the getting upset about that, and about that kind of creating of that's one of the little ways that we kind of create suffering for ourselves. There's a couple of things, especially in Buddhism, they start talking about, that there's certain types of suffering that are kind of unavoidable, like pain. Everybody is going to experience pain. Everybody's going to experience death, the pain of birth, Um, but this is a type of suffering that is something that we do to ourselves, and to get upset about mistakes. Mistakes are, of course, are going to happen. Um, I'm forgetting the person that actually said to err is human, and so to have mistakes is completely natural to being a human being, and to assume that humans are not going to make mistakes is unrealistic. They're going to happen. So it almost looked like to me it could be a very good opportunity to flip that around and start to realize that this is a teaching uh, tool for me. And you can actually use the very thing that is irritating you, you can use that to turn it around and to create something beautiful out of that. A good way of doing that for this person's case would be to, every time that um, she would see a mistake, is to look at it with kindness and decide that she's going to fix that and not tell anybody about it. Uh, Very important not to brag about other people. Oh, I'm fixing somebody's mistake. Then you're just kind of coming in through the back door. The ego's coming in through the back door. So to do it with kindness, um, and just say, I'm going to fix this mistake, and I'll do it happily. And what that does is, if you start to create a new habit, again, same things happening, but different uh, different overall reaction to what's happening. And one causes you pain when you're getting frustrated and irritated, and you feel the clenching, the tightness in the abdomen, and wherever you feel the tension. And then the other one is ease and compassion, and it can become a spiritual practice for you. So you have these two things: is pain and not something that's not pain. And if you look at it that way, the decision becomes very easy. It's like, I'll use this as a spiritual practice, and um, I would assume that the numbers of mistakes are not going to change, but your overall stress about, throughout your work will probably change significantly by doing something like that, by utilizing what would otherwise be something very irritating and turn it around to be something very relaxing and peaceful. Another way, is if you were personally making mistakes and to feel guilty about that. It's again, it's the same exact thing. Is you're reacting to something that's natural. It's natural that you're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. So there's no reason to feel guilty and about that. And it's only usually you only feel guilty if you're taking personal responsibility for your mistakes. If you made the mistake, there's a couple ways you can utilize that. You can learn from it, or if it's just one of those mistakes that you weren't paying attention or something, or you weren't really there. So again, that's also something that you shouldn't be responsible for if that really wasn't you. Um, there was a good story by Ajahn Brahm, the monk that he used for that. It was a very good example. I will probably butcher the story, but I'll say it because it's a good example of that, where it was saying that there was this great teacher that was very well respected, a very enlightened being, that and he went to this fair with some fellow followers, and over at the fair they had like an archery contest, and he decided, the the uh, the enlightened being, the enlightened person, decided he was going to do the archery, and so and he had never actually pulled the bow out himself before at all. And so what he did was he just took the first one. He had 3 shots, and the first one he shot it, and the arrow barely went halfway to the target, and he didn't pull it back far enough. And the people were snickering and laughing a little bit at him, and so his students were like, sir, we should probably go, because people were kind of laughing at the teacher. And he went ahead and said, no, that was the now that was the oh, how did he say that? Oh, like I said, I'm probably butchering the story. Said that is a man of inexperience or something like that. That's what he says. Basically, not taking personal responsibility for that. Oh, that's a man that is inexperienced. He goes, now, so then he goes ahead and pulls for the next one, and this time he really pulls it hard. And he shoots it, and he goes way, he shoots it far enough, but of course it goes way over to the left, nearly hits somebody and stuff, and people are still laughing again and again. The students are like, "Oh, sir, please, please let's go," And so he's like, "Nope, that was the shot of a man who was a braggart or something." And so then the last one, he goes ahead and he pulls it and he shoots it, and of course he hits it right in the bullseye. And so and then that was it, and then he finished. And then the students were like, "Well, what was that the shot of?" And he goes, "Oh, that was me." And so again, just taking responsibility for the ones that are actually you know uh, something good, something that you were intentionally doing, and all the other ones you weren't taking responsibility for. And you don't own that. You don't own the mistake. You recognize it. You recognize it happened, but you're not putting ownership and guilt and blame and everything on yourself. And so it's a nice practice to be able to release some of that resistance to, because nobody, of course, wants to make mistakes or that sort of thing, and it's just a wonderful exercise to do. So um, anyway, I just wanted to share, and again, thank you everyone for watching. Take care.